Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, cottagers. Welcome in, welcome in. Happy Tuesday. I hope everyone's been doing very well. So today we're going to be playing some cozy horse games, some Ranch of Rivershine. There was an update that I didn't really get to fully explore that unlocks the ability to grow trees and also some other crops. So I figure maybe we can do some expanding of our farm section, and I think I might also have some foals on the way, which is exciting. So let me get the game booted up and then we can get in and get everything going. I hope everyone's doing well. I've had today felt very long. So I'm excited to play my horse game. I'm also super quick going to close the blinds by my computer because it's very dark out and no one else from the outside needs to bear witness to this. Okay, let me go over here. Let me get the audio going and then let me windowed full screen, and then let me change it to full screen. Okay, I think that should be good. I cut myself shaving, so I'm sore. Oh no, Neo, I'm sorry to hear that. That is not fun. That is never a good time. Alright, let's see. We've got wild horses in Pine Forest, and the farmer is in town today. Oh yeah, they added a new thing where certain vendors that are normally like out in their own zones can set up shop in town, which is nice because then it's a little closer to your house than before. Alright, who do we have in here? We have got Stormy Hair, which... oh yeah, she's a new wild horse that I got that had like really good stats. I know what weird question I had. What weird question did you have? Unless it's too weird, then maybe keep it to yourself. Then maybe keep it to yourself if it's too weird. But let's see. I don't know. I don't remember what. She definitely has a use. She's here for having a cream gene, I think, but I don't remember what I was going for with a cream gene. So, she'll just join the herd. Does your model have legs? Yes! Yes, she is a full model. She does have legs. They just are rarely, if ever, seen, to be honest. But yes, she does have legs. She does have legs. They are rigged, though they don't move around that much, but they do move. Oh yeah, this is this new Sabino I got. This mare. She's cute too. Another wild horse. I've been going around. I was upgrading my wild horse pen so I have better stats. And so I was kind of swapping out some horses that didn't have so hot stats, so they're not as good for breeding programs because their children kind of take a penalty from that. But this girl, she's pretty. I like her blue eyes. She's a gray roan Sabino. Sabino is like the pattern here, and roan is the color, so this like speckled gray. And let's see, who do we have here? Colossal Jade with her child. I love Colossal Jade. Jade is my Appaloosa. I love Appaloosas, especially blanket Appaloosas. I shall be around for an hour. I'm only here to chat a little, honestly. I don't care about the game. That's fair. That's fair. I care about the game. That's all that matters. It's really a question of if I like the game. It doesn't really matter if anyone else likes the game. As long as I like it, then it's a good time. If I don't like it, then I usually just stop playing it. It usually doesn't last too long if it doesn't pass my rigorous check. Though, I was realizing recently that I don't really think I like Eastward or Eastward Octopia, which feels like sacrilege, but I think I've gotten to the point where I was like, If I knew what I knew now, and was asking myself if I should go back in time and if I should go back in time and redo all that again, I probably wouldn't. Truth be told. Probably should have just watched someone else do a playthrough of Eastward if I really cared about the story, which I do think the story is like kind of important for you to understand Octopia, I will say. Otherwise, I think Octopia is just kind of, it's fine, but it's very shallow if you don't know all the characters, I would say. So, that would not be the best. Alright, and then we've also got Golden Squirrel. Gray Smoky Cream Tobiano. So she's new. This is a farm baby. She's new. There's no murderous psycho protagonist in this. There's not. This is a very, very cozy, very chill game. Very little, no murder, no mystery, no intrigue. Just horses. It's one-dimensional, but it's good in that. It's very straightforward. It is a horse game. It's for people who like horses. That's about it. It's perfect. Remember Sea of Thieves when you threw fish in a pan and it dries itself? Why not throw grains in a mortar and poof, bread? Or fries? Oh. That would be nice if we could make fish and chips in Sea of Thieves. That sounds reasonable. If we could grow potatoes. You know? No Nobi? Yeah, there's no Nobi in this game. Alright, let me see any of my other friends. Hi, friends. You look pregnant. When is your full? 6 days. Okay. Okay. Who else? Is anyone else? No. No. Those are our boys. Alright. Everybody else looks like they're just chilling. Everybody else looks like they're just hanging out. I do want to check on... Oh yeah, they added a sprint button, which is handy. I do want to check on what I don't even remember what I have growing. I don't know. I knew I did plant some trees, but I didn't have too many orchard spots, I don't think. I don't even know if I filled all the orchard spots. What do we got? Oh, we've got watermelons. I'm growing a lot of watermelons, I guess. I committed to the watermelons. And these are my trees. I think I only have 2 tree spots. Also, Guy, thank you so much for the resub. By the way, we have a Twitch child now. Oh, we do! 9 months. A Twitch baby. Amazing. That's incredible news. So exciting. I doubt I'll be around on Thursday. That's okay. You can make stream whenever you feel like or don't feel like. It's no big deal. It's a no pressure zone. No worries at all. Alright, let's go do some training, I guess. I'm gonna name our Twitch baby Wentworth. That's a nice, strong name. Wentworth. It's like the Captain Wentworth from Persuasion. Very Austin. I like it. Alright, what should we train this friend in? Flexibility. This flexibility easy training is not available to us just yet. So let's go do speed. Yeah, speed's the lowest, so let's go do speed. We're gonna trot our way over there. But yeah, unfortunately, well, the next release is coming. It's gonna have a brand new trail, and therefore a new race for us to participate in. And that will, I think, have the flexibility, like, quick training. But it's not here yet, so. Leap years are special to me. That's your birthday, right? Oh, that's true. I forgot that Thursday. I keep thinking that it's Friday for some reason is the end of the month, but it's not. It's Thursday. So happy almost birthday. Happy almost rare birthday, actually. You don't get to celebrate your birthday that often. Alright, now we're gonna go make our way slowly over to the track. You can go pretty late with training, though. I forget what happens when you go to, like, midnight in this game. I'm usually in bed in a timely fashion. Rarest in the world, it's true. The rarest birthday. Considering it isn't around often enough to have enough people born on it. You have that claim to fame. You can put that down for every fun fact. Like, don't say that you're born on February 29th, just say that you have the rarest birthday in the world. It sounds much more mysterious that way. Much more mysterious that way. You know what? I'm trying to think of what my breeding programs are right now. I think the one that I really want is I want a flaxen liver chestnut splash with a very particular splash pattern. So we'll see how that turns out for me. If I was really min-maxing, I would not canter the whole way around here and I would like trot until I got to the gates, but this is just easier. This is just easier. It goes faster. I'm okay with not being the most min-maxed. This is my cozy game, so I'm not like a management sim fanatic. I do not mind things taking longer in farming sims or not being 100% or whatever. That does not bother me in the least. I remember my 16th V-Day, my school actually threw a party to reach the younger years. I guess having an example helped. There you go. There you go. Having examples usually helps in life, honestly. Having people to look up to generally is good for you. Generally a good thing. Alright, this friend is done training. So let's head back. We could jump to the exit, but alas. It's just easier this way. I'm always kind of terrified because this game is early access. I am always terrified. Sometimes I think if I use the jump button, I'm gonna fall through the floor. That's never happened to me, so I don't know why I have this irrational fear. And it's not like anything would happen. I would just have to like forfeit the day if anything wild like that occurred. But part of me is always like, oh no, bugs though. I typo at the worst times. I don't proofread. That's okay. I mean, it's not like this is a test, to be honest. All is well. Alright, let's put this girl away, and then we'll grab our other girl, I guess, our other wild horse. I think actually this update, I think, also gave us a buff to... We have an indoor arena as well. I kind of feel like... I don't know if it's this one or if it's the next release is gonna like buff stats in that training zone. I don't recall. I never proofread my tests either. Well, I mean, depends on how much you care, I guess. At the end of the day, depends on how into the test you're feeling. It's probably more important to proofread stuff for like your job, I would say. Or like, I don't know, sending important messages to people just in case you typo into something and it completely changes the meaning of like the text or the email or whatever you're writing. That's probably the most integral time. Alright, we have to go across the way. And then we're gonna go to the lake, Crystal Lake, and do our jump training. I love that they added, in this update, they added horses that will now be like tethered at these posts in town, and you can like leave your own horses there, because horses now wander away from wherever you leave them, but it's kind of nice seeing other horses finally. You felt very alone. You'd see wild horses, but you wouldn't see like horses in town. It felt like you were the only person with horses around, which is weird because it's definitely an economy entirely dominated by the equestrian scene, but you didn't see that as much. So now I'm glad that you do. I wrote long essays in some exams. I wasn't about to reread them. Just one and done. Write it and go. I did that sometimes, like in college. I have clear memories of a Japanese language exam having us write essays in Japanese, and I don't think I proofread them either. I think I just wrote, and then wherever I ended off is where it ended up. I think that's where I was like, well, that's it. You get what you get. That's the end of it. I feel like I started way too many breeding programs at once, to be honest, though, in this game. It's definitely, like, very inefficient. I probably should have focused on one until I got the combinations that I wanted, and then I probably should have moved on, but no. No, I just went right for, I don't know, I was like a kid in a candy store. I was like, ooh, this would be cool, and that would be a cool combo, and ooh, this could be pretty, and then ended up where I'm at. Inefficient. It's probably gonna take me a long time to get all the interesting stuff that I've been wanting. And don't get me started, they're already starting with like mods for this game, so that will open up all sorts of new possibilities, I think. We'll have all sorts of new options, and I don't need to think about that yet. Maybe one day when I run out of things to do in this game, far in the future, then I'll be like, okay, it's time to check out some mods. Now's the day. In general, I feel like I like playing games like vanilla first. Unless it's like very minor mods that don't change like core gameplay elements. That's always kind of my preference. Alright. Horse can't be trained any further, so we can go up to a canter. Especially my history essays where I rambled on for about 3 pages about the War of the Roses, and another on medicine through time. Those, I feel like history essays can easily become rambly because it's easy to go off on tangents because history is vast. There's a lot of things to talk about. There's a lot of things to say. And sometimes you're just trying to fill space, so you encourage the tangents, and then it kind of just ends up a spaghetti mess. Then it's not the most well-written thing, but it gets the job done. I think I have a clear memory in high school of having to write a really long essay on a timed test, like a standardized test, about the Boston Massacre, and they kept being like, you'll get like, you know, your points are based on how many details you provide and how accurate they are. And oh my god, I just crammed that thing full of what is now, looking back, unnecessary garbage. Was probably a terrible way to write an essay, but that's what I did. Weirdly, my best subject? I don't know, history. I feel like history sticks in a lot of people's heads pretty well. Maybe not like names and dates necessarily, but core concepts usually get across. I don't feel like there's too many people who are really bad at history, let's put it that way. There's more people I think who are like, ooh, I really don't like math, or I'm really bad at English because I'm bad at writing, or something like that. Alright. Horse time. Let's see, who else? What are you being trained in, friend? We could do... Oh, you really should do jump. Well, we could do the indoor arena, probably. Let's try it. Let's go to the indoor arena and set up our little thing. Raz farming the essay points? I really was. I've been a farmer the whole time. The whole time. You can't keep me away from the farm for long. Alright, this is my very expensive indoor arena. It cost me a lot. Gorilla horse. Welcome in, CJ. It's not gorilla. This was a planned stream. Can this friend jump? Intermediate boxwoods? Oh, I was having this problem before. Okay, maybe this is the boxwoods. I don't know. Can we do intermediate flower fence? Will that show up in here? Okay, the flower fence is showing up. So that's something. How's your week so far? It's, you know, I was gonna say it's going well, but today was actually a real bummer. Also, thank you for the hydrate and the posture check. Everyone do a big stretch. Make sure you are an unkicked shrimp if you must be a shrimp. And be sure to get a sip of something. Doesn't matter what it is, something's better than nothing. Alright. Alright. But yeah, today was kind of, I was like going, it was going fine. And then I went to my usual, I have like a weekly one-on-one with my boss. And he gave me some really like bogus feedback. I don't normally say that about things. I feel like I'm usually a pretty good sport about feedback, but he told me I had taken too much time off, even though I've only taken, in the past 2 months, I've taken 3 planned PTO days off, and I've taken off, what, if I was sick 4 days? 2 of them were in a row. 2 of them he was sick for with the same thing. So it was like a total of 7 days over like 2 months. And that was apparently too much, even though that's not even remotely close to my allotted time. And so I was just like, I don't know. I was like, this is a weird conversation to have. It was also frustrating because he was like, oh, this isn't like a formal complaint. And it was like, well, I mean, if you made this a formal complaint, I think HR would tell you that that was not kosher. I'm pretty sure HR would be like, yeah, you can't do that. That's her time. As long as she's not like going over her time or something. It was super weird. And then at one point he was like, I don't know, he was mentioning that like we had been out at the same time, but like as a manager, if there needs to be coverage, that's on him to do that, not on me. I'm the lower person on the totem pole. I take off whenever I want. It's on him to like find coverage if something is really like important. So I was like, okay. So it was just, I got blindsided by that. I did not expect to be told that I'd taken too much time off when I don't like take vacations ever. I never take vacations. I don't take like weeks off or anything. I usually just take days like once in a while. Usually when I'm sick, honestly. That's where most of my vacation goes because I have like a sickly constitution. I get sick all the time. I love the verbal warnings where they go, oh, we need you to sign this. Bro, this is verbal. Just turned into a write-up? Yeah, no, that's not a verbal warning. It wasn't even anything like that. It was like he didn't want to make it a formal complaint. And I was like, okay, so like, then this isn't a complaint. like, what is this then? It was just weird. And then I vented about it to some friends and they were all like, yeah, that's not appropriate. And I was like, yeah, I thought so. So then I felt validated, but I was still grumpy that I had to even have that conversation in the first place. Sometimes I feel like I get biased because, like, I work a really, like, low position now, but I used to be a manager of 5 people. I used to have a fairly big team under me, so I like know a lot of the manager stuff because I used to do it. So sometimes I get frustrated when I'm like, bro, I would never. I'm not complaining, just devote yourself to the company more. Yeah, the wild thing about the whole conversation was he was like, I don't even care. He was like, this came from people above me. And I was like, well, that's even weirder because, like, why wouldn't they? Like, I talked to some of them one-on-one, like, recently. Like, why wouldn't they bring it up then? Yeah, I'm not complaining, just don't get sick. Right? I was like, what do you want me to do? I just get sick a lot. It was like, yeah, it was like my most recent, like, times off. Again, two were planned PTO days because I wanted to take time off for my VTuber anniversary to, like, prep and get stuff ready for that. I didn't tell them that, but, like, that was the reason. I just said I was, like, going away or something. And then one day was because I had to take Pickles to the vet, and her vet is 2 hours away. She has a special vet, so we have to go, and it takes, like, the whole day to, like, go there and back. And then 4 days were me getting sick, which, again, I don't know how I avoid getting sick. I was trying to be nice and not coming to the office when I was, like, coughing up a storm and being full of mucus. I thought I was being a nice employee. And then the most recent absence before that was I got a flat tire on the way to work. I was like, I don't know what you want from me here. When I come to the office sick, I am walking straight up to you, giving you a 20-second hug, right? That's what I felt like saying. Hi, welcome in, Axolotl. I hope you're doing well. Hope things are good by you. Happy Tuesday. But yeah, so I was like, man, it was just, I think it's always frustrating also to receive critique when it's not something you can change, right? When it's like, hey, don't take time off, but I was taking time off because I was sick. So it's like, hey, don't get sick. And it's like, well, yeah, I also don't like being sick. I don't go out and interact with people that much. I do try, like, limit my exposure to germs, to be honest. But I just have a weak constitution. If I was like a little Victorian child, I would have died in infancy. Unfortunately, I guess for these people, by the grace of modern medicine, I'm still alive. So I was like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Just silly. I don't get sick, really? Oh, you're lucky. You're lucky. I get sick from, like, all sorts of random stuff. I get headaches a lot, I get colds really easily, and then the colds, like, knock me out. I end up being, like, bedridden because I have, like, no energy, and I get dehydrated really easily. I get dizzy. So yeah, I was like, I don't know what you want me to do. On my way to give a Victorian child Adderall. Listen, they've had worse. They have laudanum. They have opium mixed with alcohol, believe me. They have some wild medications back then. They've seen some stuff. Last illness I had was COVID a couple years ago. Wow, a couple years since that. You have a good immune system. It's doing work. Or you live in the middle of the woods and have no access to people, I guess. It's one of two things. You're either totally isolated or your immune system is just killer. Just very strong. My immune system is very weak. So it's It doesn't help too that like now, because I used to work totally remotely, but now that I work like not like I work hybrid, so I have to come into the office, I'm in contact with other people, and a lot of those other people have children, and children are largely vectors of disease. So they get sick a lot. They come spread germs to me easily. My immune system is strong as hell, but when I get sick, I'm dead for like a week. Ah, you're like my husband then. He's the same way. He like doesn't get sick often, but when he does, he's like near death. I do get headaches, but I think that's because of poor sleep schedule and bad pillows. That doesn't help, that's for sure. Yet lots of things cause headaches, to be honest. I live in a town and not a really small one. Okay, so you come in contact with people then. So you're not isolated. Your immune system really is just doing work. See, this is the slower but maybe more cozy route of doing your training. It's just running around making loops, doing jumps. Us men catch a terrible disease called man flu. Is that what it is? Your immune systems just ramp up other illnesses until they're near deadly. You come in contact with people is a much funnier phrase than it should have been. If I recall, they proved man flu is a real thing. Like, generally men do not have as good of an inflammatory response, so they really do suffer more when they get sick. Oh, that's interesting. That kind of makes sense, because I've always like... I've known a lot of guys who get really sick, and I've always been like, that's a little weird. And they normally don't get sick, but when they get sick, they get sick. They are struggling. They are fighting for their lives. And part of me was always like, why though? Why are you affected like that? But that would make sense if their inflammatory response is different generally. I mean, it makes sense. Hormones do all sorts of things in the body, so it makes sense that it would maybe cause differences that way. Well, sorry to all folks who get man flu. It sounds bad. It sounds very unfun. I feel glad that I don't have to experience that currently. Who knows? I guess there's always time to experience man flu in some form. Maybe there will be a new strain of flu that mimics man flu in the future. And then we can all share in the joy of it. Last major time I was sick, I had a fever of 110. Bro, that is not good. That is not safe. That is too high. That's like your brain is getting close to cooking. I hope you went to the doctor and or were like taking, I don't know what you take, Advil, Tylenol, something to bring it down. Sitting in an ice bath, whatever you needed to do. I think I have a decently tough body. Only been in the hospital as a patient once. I've only been to the hospital for broken bones, to be fair. I've never gone for illness. I was close once because I got a really bad stomach bug once and I almost had to be sent in to have an IV, but I was okay. I recovered like soon after. I just chugged NyQuil and slept. Oh my god, CJ, that is not the way to treat that. You are lucky that you are alive and not that you didn't slip into a coma. I'm glad that we have you with us. Oh, appendicitis. Ooh, a girl on my program when I was studying abroad in Tokyo got appendicitis when she was there. And it was like this terrible series of events where she got appendicitis. Like, so she's in a lot of pain, obviously. Doesn't know that it's appendicitis, but kind of is like, this is kind of feeling real bad. Definitely need to get this checked out. And then she lived in a homestay, so she was like living in someone's house, like staying at their house, and her homestay parent was like gone for like a long weekend because like we're college age, people are like in their like early 20s. So, she was like an adult enough that it was like she's not going to die, but it just happened to be that like her main contact who was fluent in Japanese was like gone for the weekend and was not accessible. So she ended up calling like one of the other girls who lived in the dorm who spoke really good Japanese, and like they got her to the hospital. They had to like take a taxi to the hospital, and then they got there, and then it was like a whole thing, obviously having to translate like, hey, I'm having really bad pain and maybe appendicitis. And it was appendicitis, and then she had to have her appendix taken out, which seems very stressful. It's already stressful having to go to the hospital, but then when you're in a foreign country, that's like a new level of like, oh god. Oh god. That's so unfortunate. I know, it was like a real shame. But she got through it, and then she has a wild story to tell, but I was like, oof. That sounds like a lot. That sounds very stressful. And just unfun. It's a lot of pain. Isekai title just dropped that time I got my appendix removed while abroad. While abroad in a foreign land. We shouldn't give the isekai people more ideas. They have plenty to work with. Actually, there's probably, let's be real, there's already an isekai about someone getting their appendix taken out in a fantasy world. It's gotta have happened. Or they like, the isekai title is like, that time I saved the king from appendicitis after I got transported to a fantasy world or something. It's like a real life doctor that has to teach people that like appendicitis is like treatable. There's lots of those. Dr. Isekai teaches everyone the joys of modern medicine. A common trope. Got the operation the next day because they left it so long they were close to bursting. Oh my god. That's no good. That is not good at all. That sounds very stressful. What do you like, is there like an age where you stop being at risk of appendicitis? Because now I'm like worried. Could that happen to me? Do I need to be, is my appendicitis just always a ticking time bomb? Or like, when you reach 30, is it like, it's done? I got transported to another world and became a used car salesman. I mean, the isekais that are very tongue-in-cheek, I'm all about. So if that was a title, I would probably read that one, let's be real. I would probably read that. Because that sounds funny, but I think they at least leaked or something because the wound got infected. Oh, god. Yeah, that's too much. If I go to the hospital, I need it to be like, I need to be cured. It's too stressful to go in the first place. I don't want to deal with like an infected wound. My mom got appendicitis in her mid to late 40s. Oh my god, so I'm not safe. Okay, well, I'll have to be on the lookout, I guess. Our appendix is just always ready to get us. It's prepped. It's like a monster in a horror game, just lurking, just patrolling, waiting for you to turn down the wrong hallway. For some reason, the foals for some reason, I can like almost never get them clean. I feel like they always have dirt on them. Maybe that's just, it's a foal thing. They're like little kids. Little kids are just always covered in dirt. That would make sense. I should just preemptively remove my appendix. Yeah. Well, I think it's more dangerous to go through surgery in general, so they don't want to do it, but kind of feels like, what if we... Maybe we should think about that. Maybe we should consider that. I forget if it tells me if I have a horse that's going to give birth soon. Like if it's going to be like, oh, the next day. I don't remember if it has a little box that pops up that tells me that. Or if I just have to remember or be surprised when I go out into the field and there's a child. I don't know. Alright, let's check. What do you need to train jump. Okay. I'll come back to you then, because we have a couple options for jump that are easier than others. What do you need to train? You need to train speed. Okay. We can do that. It was worse pain than when I got hit by a car or smashed my teeth or the time I nearly cut the end of my finger off. That sounds pretty bad. That pain level sounds pretty not fun. So yeah, maybe we should just preemptively remove appendixes. I don't want to experience that. I'm good without that. I'm good at not experiencing that level of pain. Luckily, I have never broken a major bone, but I have broken, like, many toes. And my pinky once? Twice? But I feel lucky that I never, like, broke an arm or a leg or a collarbone as a kid, because those seem rough. Getting hit by the car didn't hurt, the landing does, yeah. Or at least maybe that's when everything catches up to you. Maybe it depends on how fast the car goes, but the landing at least cannot feel good. Let's put it that way. Most I ever broke was my wrist. Oh yeah, wrist is pretty easy to break. I guess I hairline fractured my ankle as a kid. This kid in my class pushed me off a rock, and then by the time I got home, my ankle was like the size of a grapefruit. And my dad was like, "Oh my god. We should go to the doctor." That sounds bad. And then when I was little, I was playing soccer, like really little, like pee-wee soccer. I fell and I sprained my wrist. And I told my dad was like one of the coaches, and I told my dad that my wrist hurt, and he thought that I was just like being a baby about it. And then he told me that if I went back out there, he would buy me a donut from Dunkin' Donuts after the game. So then I was like, okay, fine. So I went back out there, and then after the game, my wrist was like really swollen, but I did get that donut. But then we had to go. I was eating the donut as we drove to the doctor, and then the doctor was like, "Why didn't you bring her in right away? This is like really bad." And then my parents had to awkwardly explain. Was the donut good though? It was so good. It was a victory donut. It was a donut with strawberry frosting and sprinkles. I remember it vividly because I was really hype about it. And my parents never let me get the donuts after the game, so I was like so excited. That's how they were able to bribe me. If it was a common thing, I think I would have been like, nah, you can't buy me with that. Lil Raz knew it was up. I did. I was like, make me a bargain. What will you pay for this? What will you pay for my suffering? Heck yeah, childhood sports. Remember going to Dairy Queen after church league softball games? See, that sounds so fun. Maybe if you didn't like the sport, it was awful. And I didn't love soccer, but the donuts were pretty good after. Other than my teeth, I haven't broken anything. I may have broken the tip of my finger when I nearly cut it off, but there's no way to tell. Yeah, fingers are tough. It's only really if you, like, obliterate the bone that it turns, like, black or anything, you know? And then, you know, the best you can do is, like, splint it up. Hope it heals good. But yeah, that donut, it felt worth, I don't know. I guess my wrist was in a splint for a while, and that didn't feel great, but I didn't have to play soccer for a while, so that was pretty hype too. So I got a donut, and I got out of having to go to soccer practice or games for a while, and that was pretty exciting. Donuts are always worth. I love donuts. I haven't had a donut in so long though. I don't have any donuts places that are like near me. Or at least not like on the way, because I live in the woods now. When I lived in the city, people were always bringing donuts into work. Toes and fingers are rough. They're so small, there's not much you can do. Yeah, exactly. You just keep it straight, and then you're like, well, good luck. I need a donut now. I know, I'm sorry. I'm actually really hungry for a donut too. Raz lives a hermit life. I do. I live in the woods now, and I don't see... I mean, I see people at my job, but otherwise I don't see anyone. I just hang out at my house, and I'm an anime girl online, where I brush my virtual horses and grow my virtual veggies, and then I grow real veggies in real life when the season is good. I do have real life friends though. I make it sound like I really don't have any, but my real life friends also prefer to just do stuff virtually most of the time. So I usually just play games with them or something. Okay, we could do endurance today with this friend. I have a square donut like 2 miles away from me. They're just ultra off my diet. Ooh. Yeah, maybe not worth breaking the diet if you're gonna get in trouble with the doctor. Or with your body, you know. Comes in a full body cast, but still plays because of the promise of donuts. For real. As a child, if I was in a full body cast and my parents were like, okay, if you just run around out there, we'll get you a donut afterwards, I would have been like, bet. Alright. You're on. I had donuts yesterday. What kind did you have? Now I need to know. Yo, hop on RuneScape. Exactly, though. Hop on RuneScape. Get into Discord. I talk to people, like, every day. I'm talking to, like, so many people all the time, but, it's usually, like, yeah, just doing virtual stuff. Usually just chatting. Occasionally playing games. And then, like, once a quarter, I'll go venture out and see my friends, but they're like far away usually. My closest friend is like an hour and a half. So it's always like a trek. And then I have some friends in Philadelphia that I've been meaning to go visit, but that's like a hike. But I might go for like a long weekend or something. Just have to find a time, because then, you know, then you have to find a time that, like, works for everybody. Can't just show up at people's houses. I mean, you can, but it probably won't work out. Probably won't work out the way that you want. Ring donuts with pink icing and sprinkles. Just store-bought but good. I mean, hey, little Raz would have loved that. So, I think you have good taste. Small Raz would have played lots of sports that she hated for that, so it's gotta count for something. I really want like a Krispy Kreme glazed donut, but I don't even know if there is a Krispy Kreme anywhere even remotely close to me. But they have the most rich. I can only eat like one. It's like too much sugar, and I can't eat it in the morning or I'll actually be sick, but it's so tasty. I'm infinitely jealous of people who live close to a Krispy Kreme and have access to that. Alright. This one's always the trickiest to train because galloping really like messes with your endurance, so you have to like toggle back and forth between trot and gallop over and over. Your boss won't like you taking a long weekend? I know, right? I was gonna plan this trip and now I'm like, okay, am I not allowed to do that then? Well then. It's so wild because I have 2 weeks of vacation left plus another like couple days of sick days still that I have to use before like June 30th or something. So I was like, man, you're not giving me many options. I feel like I have not used many of my days, sir. There's a Krispy Kreme out here in Cornland. I was pretty surprised we had a physical location. Oh, I mean, that's hype. That's very exciting. I mean, yeah, I wish I lived... I really don't think there's a Krispy Kreme out near me, which is really sad. I think I would have to drive. I mean, there's probably one, but I would probably have to drive like 30 or 40 minutes, and that's like, ooh, that's really out of the way. That's not like easy to get to. When I lived in the city, you just had a lot of things at least close. They weren't always easy to get to because, you know, traffic, but getting around in the city has its own issues, but there was at least everything was nearby. Okay, so we trained that friend, so now this friend has jump as their lowest stat. Okay. That just means you gotta pick up 2 dozen instead of 1. True, you gotta stock up. I don't even know if Krispy Kreme exists here. If it does, they're few and far between. I don't know if they have any international locations. I'm actually curious now. I don't know if I've ever heard of Krispy Kreme being outside the US. It's really good though. The problem with Krispy Kreme, it is, they are very rich. They're like very sugary, so like it's hard to eat like more than 1. But it's worth eating the 1, you know? It's like really tasty. It's just like if you buy a dozen and expect to be able to eat like several yourself, it can be tough. It's like Taco Bell. I know where 1 is. Taco Bell, I at least know, has like some international locations. This might be blasphemous, but I don't actually like Taco Bell at all. It makes me sick pretty much every time I eat it, but I think that's a me problem. I know so many people who love Taco Bell. That's like their go-to spot, and it like doesn't make them sick, so I don't know what the deal is. The 1 ring donut to rule them all. Literally Krispy Kreme glazed donuts. That's what they are. They're like the ring of power. Sauron's secret ring. Someone was just, oh, my boss, before he was wilding at me today, was trying to talk to me about the Lord of the Rings, what was it, Rings of Power series, and I was like, I don't know, dude, I didn't watch that. So I can't weigh in. I don't really watch a lot of like live action TV shows or movies, to be honest. I've probably seen less than 100 movies in my lifetime. I might have seen slightly more because I watched a lot of Disney movies as a kid, but like, I don't know. I just don't really like, this is gonna feel silly to say, but I don't like movies with humans in them, like, because usually there's at least one person in the cast who is not as good at acting, and it like breaks through the 4th wall for me, because I just don't find them or their expressions or whatever to be very believable. And that always kind of like ruins the experience for me, because I always notice like something silly, like someone's expression looks really like fake or something, and I'm like, ugh. So I don't watch a lot of movies. I can't go to the theater because like I get a headache. The volume in movie theaters is so loud that it gives me an insane headache. I have to wear earplugs if I'm going to go see a movie in a theater. Otherwise, I just perish. Afterwards, I'm just like in pain and sad. I just have a sad time, which I feel like is not how you should feel when you go to the movie. Going to the movie should be like so hype. You should have a great time. Frail Raz, I know, this is what I'm saying. If I was a child in the Victorian era, I just would have perished. They would have given me 1 sip of laudanum and I would have been gone. And they would have been like, oh well, nothing we could have done. Oh well. Child mortality rates are high. This one's not on us. So, I'm just lucky I don't live in that time, so I'm alive now. But in order to keep being alive, I have to limit my exposure to germs and live away from people in the woods, I guess, and not go to movie theaters. The list of things I shouldn't do grows longer by the day. Do you have a favorite foreign cuisine? Ooh, that's a good question. trying to think. As a whole cuisine. Cause like, I do really love like sushi, for instance, and I do love a lot of Japanese food dishes, but I also eat a lot. I feel like my favorite Japanese dishes are not ones that you would eat like every day. And there's a lot of things in Japanese cuisine, not that I dislike, but they're really into like more subtle flavors, which isn't really my thing as much. So maybe as a whole, like if there was a cuisine that I could order like pretty much anything and like it, I do really like Indian cuisine. I love me a good curry. I like all kinds of curry though. Japanese curry, Thai curry, Indian curry. Curry is just a good... When humans discovered curry, when they were like, you know what we should do? Put a bunch of like meat and vegetables and stuff in a pot and stew it with spices. They were onto something. They made a good choice. But as a whole cuisine, maybe French cuisine, like real French cooking is pretty good. I could probably eat like anything, but so French and Indian are probably my faves. Because I don't feel like I've eaten enough Thai food for me to confidently say that I could eat like anything and be happy about it. I'm okay with spice, but some things will take me out. So there's that. But yeah, I love sushi though. I'm a big fan of sushi. Sushi, sashimi, I love like pickled mackerel is one of my faves. I like a lot of Chinese food. Only like nachos and fajitas for Mexican. Yeah, I feel like I don't have a lot of... I feel like I love a lot of American, or like, not American, but like, I feel like I haven't had enough dishes, Mexican dishes, because I've had, you know, like tacos and fajitas and nachos and things, you know, but that's kind of... I always feel like that's Americanized. Same thing with Chinese food. Like Chinese food from a Chinese place in like most places in the US is kind of its own thing. It's going to be different from like the actual cuisine that you would get if you were in like Beijing or something. So though if you're in a city, you can find real stuff. I do love me some soup dumplings. They are very good. Those are some of my favorite foods, I will say. Never had a proper Indian curry, but I really want to. You should. They're so tasty. I like soba from Japan. I haven't had any other Japanese food. Oh, soba's so good. Sushi's so good. I love tonkatsu. I love a lot of the like dons, so like rice bowl meals are super good. I love kaiseki. Kaiseki is like lots of little dishes that are super seasonal in Japan. Those are great. Those are expensive though, because you usually have to like go to a restaurant, and that's like the ones that serve that are often often expensive. Let's put it that way, but it's worth it. It's very tasty. I got a Chinese dish called Wandering Dragon. Oh, I wonder what's in Wandering Dragon. I need to expand my horizons. Well, you've got so much time. You have got so much time. Cities are definitely the best for getting like good food from other places, because you can usually find restaurants that are actually like owned and run by people who either grew up eating it or are from that place. So they know what they're doing. They know what's really authentic and good. Versus a lot of other restaurants, like I don't know, they change dishes to more suit like their local cuisine and palate, which makes sense, because then, you know, it's like you're more likely to have people like it and come back. But it's good to have different things. It's good to try different things. I feel like there's a lot of, I would love to eat a lot more, like, African cuisine. I don't feel like I have had a lot of opportunity to try out dishes from African countries, and I feel like that is something that I would really like to do. I would love to eat from, like, I always feel like I see people on TikTok sharing, like, African cuisine from, like, all different cultures and places, and I'm always like, you know what, that looks so good. I want to try that. That looks so tasty. Also, food's just so good. It's like such a nice way to experience other cultures, is eating their really tasty food. What could be better? Oop. Missed that jump. There we go. Alright, we got some cash. We had a little bit of cash flow in today. I don't know what I was saving up for, actually. Let's go into town. I don't know what I was trying to acquire. Maybe more the retirement pasture expansion. I know was really expensive, but let me see. I think the carpenter was supposed to be in today. Let me see if he's still in town. I don't know what time they, like, pack up and go to their houses. Hello, friend. Shop. Let's see. Pasture upgrade. No. Second orchard field. That would probably be good. Oh yeah, see the retirement pasture. 400,000. I used to be picky about food until COVID. It made me realize that life is short and you could strive to have as many experiences as possible. Yes, for sure, MT. Also, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Happy Tuesday. COVID, I feel like COVID put a lot of things in perspective for people. And yeah, you should live your life being happy, eating good food, seeing friends. We don't have a lot of time on this space rock, you know? So you might as well spend time eating really tasty food, and especially from other places, because maybe that's like your favorite dish and you haven't met it yet. Simply put, the Wandering Dragon is a chicken and king prawn with Chinese mixed vegetables and a rich sauce. Soy and oyster sauce. Ooh, that sounds tasty. That sounds very good. Do I want second orchard field? Okay, let me see. This man might disappear back to his zone, but where are my friends? George. No, where are the friends? Oh, Jai's already walking over. Okay. I do want to check with Jai and what's her name? The training lady. I forget her name. Oh god. Jai, wait. Wait. I want to see if you have anything to sell me. Hold up, sir. Hold on. Hello. Shop. Oh yeah, the expert pens are really expensive. Oh, and I need the advanced lake pen. Okay. I have a lot of things to pay for. I have a lot of expenses to pay for. Alright then. I tried it on a whim a few months ago and really liked it, so it's my go-to. That's always the thing that's always my problem, is like, once I have a go-to dish, I always just like want to eat my go-to dish, and then it's hard for me to like try other things. And I know that I should, but I'm always like, but my go-to dish is so good. But I want to eat that. Like there's this Indian dish that I love. It's called Malai Kofta, and it's like little dumpling ball things made out of, I don't want to say it's potatoes, but and it's got like paneer in the center and stuff, and it's in this like amazing, tasty sauce, and it's just so good that I just only want to eat that. Though I will eat other stuff. I do love a lot of Indian food, so I will eat like samosa chaat and stuff like that. I'm probably also butchering. My pronunciation is horrible. I've never tried malai kofta before. Might have to try that out next time I get Indian. Yes, please do, Sari. Also, welcome in. Happy Tuesday. If you do get it, you have to tell me how you like it, because it's like my go-to. I also think, I want to say there might even be like raisins or like dried fruit in the center of them sometimes. I forget what it's made out of. Also the sauce, I want to say the sauce is like a cashew sauce. Spiced cashew sauce. I don't know, maybe I'm making that up, but I think that's true. But it's good. Either way, whatever it is, it's so tasty. It's so tasty. I will report back. Good. I really need to have there's no Indian place that delivers to my house, which makes sense. I live in the woods. I need to stop expecting things to deliver to my house. It's not going to happen. But I feel like I need to go to an Indian place and have like a really good curry at some point. Like a good goat curry or something. I feel like it needs to happen. I feel like it's been like too long. I'm suffering. I'm suffering now. Alright, I don't know if I need these right now. Second speed arena, that would be nice. So I guess we'll plan to make 52k. I'm going to sell one of my fillies that I just got, because sorry to say, she's not exactly what we were looking for in our breeding program. She's still cute though. But I'll probably sell her once she's trained up enough. She's getting close though, I think. I think she's getting pretty close. Also, let me see. Was there anything good in the saddlery? They added the saddlery update, and there's all this like new tack that you can get. But I probably shouldn't. I probably should pay for the things I need to pay for instead of like the decor. Because I don't need any of these things. I mean, my eyes would like them, but I have lots of tack. Because like, look at how cute. The matching saddle pad and wraps. I do have plenty. I have plenty of tack to make cute horse outfits, so maybe I need to pay for the things I need to pay for practicality reasons, but I always want to get, I'm like, ooh, what about that? I don't have that color saddle pad yet. Ooh, I don't have that blanket yet. And then it's like, Raz, stop. You have things that you are meant to be paying for. What are you doing? But the cosmetic items always gonna get, I know, the cosmetics, they always get it because they always look so good, right? They always look so good, and then they're so inviting, and you're like, but I need this. But I need this. Alright, I'm just gonna brush our girl. This is 3 cashew. She is such a pretty horse. I bought her from the auction house. She was my first, like, splurge horse. Because I hadn't unlocked some of the more wild coat colors. So my ultimate breeding program right now, you can see how she has like this blonde mane. She's called Flaxen. Flaxen because she's a chestnut roan. So chestnuts get this flaxen blonde mane. I want her blonde mane to be paired with this boy. He is a liver, let me see. He is a, oh no, the fence is in the way. He is a liver chestnut with a splash pattern, and the splash is this, all the white on him is like a big marking. So I want him with his exact same color, except I want his mane to be blonde. Yeah, liver, yep, liver chestnut. Liver like the organ. So his color is called liver chestnut. I think it's because it has a bit of a like reddish hue, like an iron hue. Kind of like liver, I guess. It probably looks similar in color to the organ. So yeah, I want a liver chestnut, a flaxen, so blonde mane and tail, liver chestnut with this white splash pattern. And so far it hasn't happened yet. So far has not occurred. But we'll see. Oh, you want to be brushed too? Everyone's like, I want brushing. Oh, you already got brushed. Friend, you already were brushed. And then my other breeding program that I really want to get is this boy over here. Okay, not you, girl. This boy is called a chocolate palomino. So he has like the chocolate coat and the blonde mane and tail. It's chocolate palomino. And I want to breed him because I love this color. I love chocolate palomino. It looks so nice. He just looks amazing. He's a nice looking horse. He's cute already because he's a cute boy. But I want him to breed with, come over here, this girl. I want his coloring with this girl's spots. She's a blanket Appaloosa. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. Those are my two main breeding programs. So I'm doing it extremely inefficiently, so it may take literally years of my real life before I roll the correct things, because I'm looking for very particular things, but I think they'll look pretty. I think they'll be fun. Gold squirrel grew up into an adult. Did you now? Gold squirrel, an adult lady. She's our farm baby. Over this one. It's a farm baby, I think. Yeah. Cute. I do like the gray smoky cream is a nice color. It's this like muted gray color. Very cute. She still has a bit to go though with her training before we'll sell her. Not yet. One day. Soon. Because we need to free up space in our barn for more foals. But she is cute. Have you eaten meat that's not the norm, as in common? Like alligator or kangaroo or something? Let me think. Have I had anything really out there? I mean, I've had elk. I've had an elk burger. I've had a bison burger. Those are probably more common depending on like where you live. Like they're not common. We don't have elk or bison where I live, but in other parts of the US they're probably a little bit more common. Though I guess permits to hunt elk are pretty like rare. Like they don't give out that many. So that might be hard to come by anyway. I'd even say venison and rabbit count as unusual. It depends on the country, because some countries eat rabbits a lot more. But yes, in the US, rabbit is pretty rare. Venison, where like a lot of places by me, you can't buy venison that was hunted. There's farmed venison, but you can't buy venison off of a hunter. I think it's to avoid like people over hunting because they only give out so many like licenses or permits or whatever. So you can hunt it yourself if you go and get the permit and do that whole thing, but you're not allowed to like buy it from somebody else unless it's farmed. So I've had venison before, that's true. But yeah, as far as like as more out there food, I would say elk, bison are probably the most, because I've never had like alligator, I've never had snake. I've never had kangaroo. I've never had ostrich or something. Or I'm trying to think of anything else out there. My father-in-law makes a great rabbit stew. I have heard, I don't think I have personally ever eaten rabbit, but I have heard it's very good. It's also quite sustainable. Like rabbits multiply very quickly, so they're actually like a pretty decent meat animal, even though they are very friend-shaped, so mentally maybe they're harder to keep. I've only had 2 venison burgers in my life. Venison is usually it's more available in places that deer hunting is really common. Like if you live in an area where the hunting season is really like people really go at it, then it's more common to have access to it. Like my, I guess, cousin-in-law goes hunting like every year for I want to say quail or pheasant and deer. So they have that a lot more. People do hunt by me for sure, but it's not as common. Again, I live in a slightly more like densely packed area, so there's more people around. It's hard to have enough space to, you can't be hunting near people. That would be dangerous. I may have eaten horse, since that was a big scandal a few years ago where they were selling horse meat but saying it was other meat. Oh, that's no good. That's not cool. We probably should not be lying to consumers about what they're eating. Because who knows if someone's like allergic to something. I don't like hunters. Hunters are unfortunately necessary, but there's definitely good ways to go about it and bad ways to go about it. Like deer populations do need to be hunted if you don't have large predator animals, like you don't have wolves, but you want to make sure that when you're hunting, you have a clean kill and you're not stressing the animal out, and yeah, like that all is very important. So like they do a good thing by keeping deer populations in check, because if they go out of control, then the deer will starve to death, which is horrible. We don't want that. But there are good ways to go about hunting and there's bad ways to go about hunting. And then there's all kinds of hunting that you can argue is like not super necessary. So like fur trapping is, maybe something that is way less necessary because it's not like those populations are getting out of control. They have other predators that get to them. So do you need to get something just for its fur? Probably not. Probably do not. We have reached an age where you have other things to wear than fur to keep you warm. And then there's other, you can argue that maybe like bow hunting or whatever is not good, or there's probably lots of irresponsible hunters too. Let's be honest. There's probably plenty of those. But they do useful things for certain animals. We do need population control, especially because as humans we killed all the big predators. If we just had wolves running around and tons of bears and mountain lions, then we wouldn't need people, because all those things would predate on the deer and the large herbivores, and then it would all be good. But we got rid of all the wolves. I mean, we're reintroducing them and they live in small pockets, but they used to be everywhere. And then that runs into a whole thing, it's like it's difficult to, you have to be careful when you live around big predators. Like we do have bears around me. We don't have mountain lions, only like very infrequently. It's usually like one passing through every 10 years or something. But we do have bobcats, which can take down deer. Bobcats do kill deer. So when you have big predators, the way you go about being outside in nature has to be different, because you want to not hurt them and you want them to not hurt you. And the best way to do that is to learn to coexist in a good way so that nobody has to get hurt, you or the animal. And usually, in my case, that means I make a lot of noise when I go outside, especially like if I go outside at night when I can't see very well because I have little human eyes and my human eyes are not good at seeing in the dark. I make so much noise. I make it really clear where I am so nothing gets startled by me. I give them a minute to be like, oh no, she's here. And when I go out, I go berry picking in the in like early summer is like berry season. When I go berry picking, I like sing while I'm out there, and that's to like let animals know that I'm like in the area, so I don't want to scare anybody, because that's when aggression happens. Is when you startle animals, and I don't want to do that. And I also don't want to be mauled. So instead I just sing to them, and then they know that I'm around and they can leave if they want to leave. And if they want to have a confrontation, then I will probably retreat to my house. That's my plan, but not run. You don't want them to think you're prey. Instead, get big and be like, hey, no. I saw a video recently of like, I think it was these people going hiking, and they have a herding dog, and I think it was a border collie, but some breed of herding dog, and their dog kept like running back and forth up the trail behind them and back to them. What's up, Pick? You wanna come sit? You wanna come sit? No? Where you wanna go? Anyway, this dog kept running back and forth. It turns out the dog was encountering a massive moose. And I don't know if you guys know, moose are big. They are huge. Moose are not an animal I would want to encounter. I don't want to encounter bears. I don't really want to encounter a moose. They look cool from far away. They look very friend-shaped, but they are very big, and they do get aggressive at various times of year. And it's not a good idea to get too close to a moose. And this moose was coming down the trail, and there was not much space for these people to go with their dogs. I think they're okay, obviously, because they posted this video, so I do not think that they died being mauled by this moose, but it was probably a terrifying realization that their dog had like attracted the attention of this moose, and it had decided to come down the trail to see what was happening. That would be scary to me. That'd be a no thank you. It'd be like, oh, okay kids, let's go, quick. Everyone, let's quickly but calmly walk away, back up as fast as possible, but not too fast. Just enough. Just enough to get out safe. I was waiting at the doctor once too, and there was like one of the receptionists was talking about how, or I guess I was getting blood drawn, but I was in the waiting room and the receptionist was talking about how she had not really been paying attention. Her kid was outside, and her kid must be like 6 or 7, and the kid kept being like, Mom, look, a bear, and she thought he meant like a teddy bear that he had. No, he meant a real bear in the yard, a real black bear. And so she had to like be like, okay, Timmy, time to go inside. Don't run, just walk briskly towards the house. Keep calm, please. But yeah, that's another reason why I will probably never own a dog, because if you own a dog and you live in bear country, you have to train your dog very well so that your dog returns to you no matter what is happening. Because if you see a bear and your dog sees a bear, you need the dog to understand, hey friend, we come back now, and we do not try and fight a bear, because that is a losing proposition. Bears are big. They're just big, and they're real big. And dogs are not that big. Dogs are not that big and that strong. And they don't have big claws, so they're kind of at a disadvantage there. So that would give me too much anxiety. I don't want to be responsible. Instead, I will have pickles inside, and I will maybe have chickens outside, but I will understand that chickens die easily. So if a chicken gets got, well, it happens. I have no problems with that here. No native bears. It's probably... I like bears from afar, but I don't really want to interact with bears, so I'm happier not. I'm happier not having them around. If I could. But listen, they do good things. We need bears. We got bears. We have a lot of coyotes. We got bears, coyotes, foxes, bobcats. I'm trying to think if we have any other like big predators. We have owls and hawks, which will definitely get my chickens, so that is also something to consider. I have a pair of owls that live in my I have a little wood section. They live in there. And I also have red-tailed hawks. I see them all the time. Oh my god, Pickles, what did you do? You're mad? What'd you do? You're parkouring? It's the 7:35 parkour time. It is? Where are you going? You don't know? You want to sit? You want to sit? Come here. Come here. Yeah, you can do it. Wow, look at that. Look at that big fluffy girl. What a good girl. Wow. What a good bean. No. She's like, Mom, I am hungry. You have to wait. You gotta wait. 25 minutes for dinner. But it's coming, don't worry. We won't forget. You will get food. I swear, sometimes this child acts like she is not fed. And she is fed so much. She even doesn't eat all of her food, so there's always food available to her. If she was hungry, she could eat at any time, but she's like, Mother. Mother, please. Foxes aren't really a threat. We had a fox visit our garden 2 summers ago. Didn't even try to get at the birds we had at the time. Just lay in the sun and went to sleep. Oh, that's so blessed. Sometimes, yeah, they're definitely... Foxes are the lowest on that list. Luckily, I think we don't have fisher cats either. Fisher cats are another, like, hard to stop predator. Fisher cats are they're large, like weasels, essentially. And so they're really good at, like, getting into small places, like chicken coops, and then massacring all of your chickens, as my neighbor found out when I was a child. So, welcome in, Locke. Thank you for the hydrate redeem. Hope you're doing well. Happy Tuesday. Oops. Everyone make sure you get a sip of something. Hello, pretty Rosaldia. Hello, Como. Welcome in. Happy Wednesday in Korea. Hope you're doing well. Are you staying cozy? Yes. We're having a very cozy time in the horse game. I guess our conversation isn't as cozy because we're talking about large predators in rural areas. And I was talking about fisher cats killing all my neighbor's chickens as a child. Not the coziest topic, admittedly. But there is that. Happy Wednesday morning. Yes, yes. Hope you're having a good time. Alright, this course is done, so I'll have to go back to my barn. What's Pickles' kill count? 0, unless we're counting bugs. She has killed bugs. She has caught mice twice, but she's never killed them or maimed them. She just picks them up very gently. But she has
She has hit with her paw baby mice probably upwards of 15 times, and I also found her hitting a shrew once. They were all alive, they're fine, but she was just bopping them on the head, which was not very kind. Happy Tuesday evening in America. Thank you, thank you. Nobi is worse than all of them. You've built up Nobi. Don't let Bandai know that you've built up Nobi into this cold-blooded killer. You've rewritten their character into this monster, this serial killer. But yeah, Pickles is she's a very gentle being. She's not big into hunting for like blood sport. She just likes to play. And she always keeps her claws in too. She doesn't like get them. Hi Raz, how are you doing? Welcome in, Mini-Me. I'm doing well. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Hope things are good by you. Alright, what is this horse's? I don't know what this horse is. What is your jump stat? 69%. Okay, well, not quite at the top level jump course then. Doing okay, thanks. Good, good, good. Sure other people like my rendition of Nobi in your streams. Maybe. Maybe there's a whole cult of Nobi as nefarious character. Maybe there's others who think that way too. Alright, we could do advanced boxwood hedge. We could do those. Oh, I forget. Oh yeah, this course is weird. I don't know if I've ever done this course. I guess we just go in a circle. I guess it's quick and also trains flexibility, I suppose. I wonder if there's a better way to jump all the biggest fences. It's kind of a messy jump situation. I guess going in a circle is actually maybe the most efficient use of time. I just don't want to train flexibility too much, but I guess it's not the worst thing to get some points in it. It's just not super easy to train most of the time. Sorry if anyone gets dizzy. I'd forgotten that this course was kind of in a circle. I guess I had like just gotten this boxwood hedge set like before I stopped playing last time, before I logged off last time. This is the much slower method of training jump, but unfortunately we used up all of our easy training points earlier, so might as well just go the slow route. I think our last horse, I guess I'll do endurance. I don't know if they did endurance yet. I think they were pretty even on everything, so endurance is one of the main ones to get. I mean, having everything high is really the key, and you can't do courses if you don't have your jump high enough, but as long as it's like 75 or 80, you're kind of in the clear to do just about everything. Not easily, but passably. I guess I should probably do a race too before it gets too late. Maybe after I finish this friend's training. I forget what time the races end. I want to say it's like 7 p.m. or something. Somewhere around there. I always mean to make a note of it and then I don't, and then I'm always like, what time is that again? When is that happening? Also, Tofu, thanks for the lurk. Hope you're doing well. Happy Tuesday. Hope things are good by you. Ooh, I love you. Thank you, thank you. Enjoy your lurk. I hope it's very restful. I hope it's lots of fun. Also, I hope you've been having fun playing Ori and the Blind Forest. Not to make you talk, you don't have to respond. I just hope you've been having a good time. That's one of those games that I really like the look of, but I know I would hate playing, so I won't. But I enjoy watching other people play. Because I like the aesthetics and stuff, but I'm just too picky about games. If there's no farming, it's a hard sell. There's no farming, no ranching, no gardening. It's hard to get me in. Especially if it's single player. I'll play things outside my genre with friends, but alone? Nah. Nope. I'll occasionally play puzzle games, though I don't really like to play them on stream, I've realized. I don't know, I find playing them on stream makes me feel dumb when I don't get the puzzle, which is silly because that's kind of the whole point of the game, so if you solved it instantly, it would kind of probably not be very fun, but it adds like weird pressure that I don't like, even though in general I like puzzle games as a concept. If you aren't enjoying Octopia, is there a chance you'll drop it prematurely? We're so close to the end, I think we'll just finish. And it's not that, I've realized it's not that Octopia is bad, it's just knowing what I know about Octopia. Octopia is it's very what I would consider on rails. And what I mean by that is it's a farming sim, but there's a lot of stuff that's locked behind other like quests or time gating. Like you need to like meet certain characters and do certain things to have certain things unlock. And I don't mind some unlocks happening in the game, but when it's like, oh, you can't grow like most of the things, and there's no like, there don't seem to be seasons, for instance, because we've gone like 60 days or something in there and it being the same season. So I don't love that there's so many things that are locked behind things that I can't control. I like, normally my preference in a farming sim is you get given the option to like buy or do anything, and it's just a question of like, okay, well, what do you like prioritize and like spec into essentially, but you're kind of given the option to do most of that stuff like at the outset. And Octopia is just it's very on rails, so I feel stifled in there a little bit. And I think for me, the key thing with Octopia has been it's a style of farming sim that I don't love, coupled with knowing all of the time that I had to put in to play through Eastward. And I really think that the story of Octopia is fairly hollow if you don't know the characters from Eastward. It is very much a DLC in that like the game is only complete if you know and appreciate Eastward. I think your experience, if you came in and you just jumped on and only played Octopia, I don't think it would be that fun, and I don't think the characters would seem that interesting. They're just more interesting because you know this alternate universe version of them. But knowing that I kind of had to play through Eastward and how much time I put into Eastward to complete that game before getting to Octopia, if I could go back in time, I would probably just skip Octopia, because it's just been a huge time investment that I feel like I probably could have spent that time playing games that I personally would have enjoyed more. So that's my like gripe about Octopia, but I don't think it's a bad game, and I don't think it's a bad game for everybody. I just think it doesn't mesh well with me, and I put in way more time than I wanted, especially because I didn't really enjoy Eastward as a game. That was not like it. The story was decent, but like the game was not like, ooh, I loved playing this. So knowing all that, turns out I probably would have had more fun in retrospect if I had. Oh, I forgot that we already went out and about. I would have had more fun in retrospect if I had played something else, but we're so close to the end that we'll just finish out and it's fine. That's my super picky, ness rearing its head. There's also the fact that you keep trying to harvest thin air from what I've seen. I know the controls, they're a little, it's easy to just like miss, which I don't know. I don't feel like I have that problem, but maybe it's just a timing and responsiveness thing. Who knows? Or maybe my hands are always cold. It's hard to say, but I feel like I don't have that problem in like Doraemon, for instance. But yeah, in retrospect, if I had a time machine, if I could go back and be like 2023 Raz and she's like, oh, Octopia looks fun, and you've had Eastward in your wish list for some odd reason because you thought the story would be really cool, I would say, Raz, do not play the base game on... I would either say, if you have to play Octopia, don't play the base game, just watch someone else's playthrough of the base game, and then this will be great. Or, like, less intensive. I'd still think... Sorry. I still think I would probably not be... I still wouldn't love Octopia, but it would help if I hadn't played so many hours of Eastward before. So in retrospect, we could have played so many other things on our list instead. Because it's been a lot of hours to devote to something that... I was just talking to my husband the other day and I like sat back and I was like, I didn't really enjoy Eastward and I don't really enjoy Octopia. He gave me this incredulous look and he was like, I know. I know. I skipped most of your Eastward playthrough because I found the game quite boring. Yeah, I think it's just like, it depends. It's probably more engaging to play through. But it really depends on if you find the story engaging or fun. I think it is a story game. That is the whole point. Like the gameplay is fine, but it's definitely like meant to be. It's meant to be a story. So if you don't like the the tale that it's telling, if you find that boring, then you definitely wouldn't like the game. Let's put it that way. Also, I have to cough so bad for some reason. Out of nowhere, my throat was like, that's it, girl. You're toast. You're cooked. But yeah, so, hindsight is always 20/20. So, now I know. We tried a new thing. It didn't work out. I know now. Maybe don't play games just for the promise of a farming sim DLC. It probably won't work out in your favor. But you don't know till you try, I guess, so. So there's that. It's so funny though, I was thinking back recently about I played like a much wider variety of games. I did a lot more things in like my first year of VTubing. It was what I think of as like my spaghetti year, where I just like was throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what stuck. And then last year was like my pruning year, so I like went in and was like, these are the things that I hate. These are the types of games that I don't want to play anymore. So I was like, this is it. This is year 3 is the year that I'm gonna just do what I want to do. I don't. It's a shame that I'll like the year is starting out by me suffering through the end of Octopia, but it's okay. We're gonna finish out, and then we're gonna have a great year 3. It's gonna be super joyful. All right, let me check on this girl. When's your baby due? 4 days. Okay. 4 days. That's fine. Brushing horses, best gameplay. Welcome in, Z. I hope you're doing well. Are you home now, girl? Did you make it back? Safely? Safe and sound? Also, thank you for the posture check. Everyone do a big stretch. Big stretch. If you must be a shrimp, be an uncooked one. Now you're eagerly awaiting Eastward too? No. No, I'm gonna skip Eastward too. I got home earlier than I anticipated. Yay, I'm glad. I'm glad. Hopefully the drive was okay. You know, as okay as it could be being multiple hours. Also, everyone make sure you get a sip of something. Doesn't matter what it is, something's better than nothing. Alright, let me check on... I mean, I know my stuff is not ready yet. Let me see if it tells me. Oh, 6 days. Are you guys 6 days too? Yes, okay. I planted them all in one bunch, I guess. Oh, 15 days for the pear tree. Oh, apple tree will be ready in 8. That's exciting. I stayed for 2 hours instead of 1. Wow, well I feel very blessed. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, yeah, this is the peak of cozy gameplay content. You just see me running around my farm, petting horses, doing some brushing, collecting some apples and some straw from the ground, as you do. If only apples and straw were so readily available at real horse farms. Damn you, Raz, and your cozy charm. I'm sorry. The siren song of cozy got you today. Hopefully you didn't have anything that you needed to do. Hopefully there wasn't anything that you needed to do and put off. After stream, I have to edit a video, which I'm excited, it's going well, but I don't like editing, so the pain is real. The sorrow is real. You're leaving me, Pickles? Oh no, where are you going? Oh, that was a big yawn. That was a big yawn. You need me to move my phone? Yeah, my phone's been in the way. That true? Alright, what else we got? Thought I saw particles saying that something was over here, but maybe not. This is also my retirement pen. This is where I put my horses when they're done, or they're not out of the breeding program and stuff, but we can always bring them back into the barn if we want. They're very joyful. I'm going to play some of my game. Yes, please go enjoy your game. I hope it's lots of fun. I hope you have a good time, but thanks for coming by. I appreciate you. Alright, let me go to sleep. What time is it? It's like 9 p.m.? 9 just after. It's very light out for 9. They try and make this game, like, accessible so that if you're out late, you aren't just, like, wandering in the dark. Like in Stardew, where you can literally get lost in the dark if you don't have a light. And perish out there as you do. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do, it's a little before 8, but because days take me like 15 to 20 minutes to play through, I think what I'm going to do is I'm gonna quit so that I don't accidentally continue and then waste a whole day. And then like not take care of my horses, which would be terrible. So let me go ahead and quit, but I'm gonna put you guys on a quick break screen. Feel free to get up, stretch, get a snack, any of that good stuff. It's gonna be about 5 minutes. I just need to get Pickles her dinner. and her pills and stuff. I might have to cut up some pills today, so it might be a little bit longer than 5 minutes, but feel free to get up, stretch, get a snack, all that good stuff, and then we'll be back and we'll do some more Rivershine, and maybe, I guess I might expand our garden and do a little bit more of that, but I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay. I'm back. Actually, we're gonna go over here. So I need to relaunch the game. And if I don't have a game launched, and I'm in my game screen, it instead picks up my VTube studio and makes like multiple of me. Which could be fun in its own way, but not quite what we're going for. At least not here. Alright. What do we got? Wild horses in Lupine Meadow. Okay, we'll go look at them in a bit. I will need to remember that because I often forget that there are wild horses, and then it gets to the end of the day and I'm like, oh, oops. Oops. But Pickles has been fed. She went and stuck her face in a whole bunch of cobwebs. For what reason, I don't know. But she started sneezing up a storm. And then I was like, did you go in the cobwebs? And she's like, no. No. I've never done that in my life. I don't know what you're talking about, Mom. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Let's see. Oh, 7%. Okay, so this girl, we should be able to finish her training today, and then she can just go out and be free in the field. She can go be free in the field. Because if they're in the field, if they're in the pasture, they don't need to be fed. However, because they just graze out there. But if they have training points, those training points go down every day that they're outside. So you don't want to put anybody with training points out there. Because then they have less stats that they can get. And we want them to have as high stats as humanly possible, so that they can be the best horses that they can be. Alright. When does your child grow up, friend? When is this bean going to need its own stall? That's what I want to know. I love this girl though, Colossal Jade. She's also so pretty. Another pretty girl that I've just got in the auction. I'm very weak to blanket Appaloosas, but I do also love duns, blue duns. Blue dun is it's like this gray color with the dark mane and tail, and they have these little dark stripes on their legs, and they've got one dark stripe down their spine. That's what the blue dun color is. Are you horsing, son? Hello, Ness, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Yes, we are horsing, in fact. We are many horsing. Yeah. You child, when do you grow up? 3 days. We have 3 days before you must be given a home. Okay. The clock is ticking. I don't know how many stalls we have left. I think we have 3? 4 maybe? There's one at the front. I know that. 3 days before you must be given a home. Wow, sounds just like my parents. Alright, we've got one stall here. We've got one here. And we've got one at the front. Okay, we do have 3. Okay. Because we're gonna have another baby born soon, so I was like, You know, if we have to sell someone, we can, but I don't want to yet. At least not until they're fully trained, and then we get more money for them. Because then everyone's like, wow, look at how skilled they are. Raz, your horses are so skilled. And I'm like, I know. We spent all this time hanging out with them, teaching them skills. That's the whole point. Oh my god, that was a big jump. You wanna come over, Pick? You're covered in gravy? You're covered in gravy because you're a messy eater? Yeah. You wanna come sit down? Wow. What a nice sit. What a nice sit. What a cute baby. Even though you are literally covered in gravy. I can see it on your whiskers. She's a messy eater. I don't know how she really goes for it. Oh, you have the hiccups because you ate too fast. You do. You have the hiccups because you ate too fast. I know. Little bean. Little bean. Alright, well. Oh my god. Don't get sick. You gotta slow down. Maybe we need to get one of those, like... I don't know, she only has this problem at night, I feel like. For some reason, she just gets, like, ravenous at, like, 7:30 to 8:15. And then she just eats like she's going to die. And then she gets the hiccups and, like, feels sick for a little while. She has to go, like, lay down. So, this child, this baby. Alright, let's go. We'll do our speed training here, and then we can go check out the wild horses, because once we enter this place, if we leave, the wild horses go away. And they are... oh, they're in the far back corner. Okay. So we'll see them after we're done. After we're done with our speed training. And then we'll see if there's any cool friends, any cool markings. Because in Lupine Meadow is where we have our splash friends. All of our splash horses are here with the splash markings. And we do have one horse that we're trying to get a splash marking and a very particular coat and mane color combination. So if we could add any additional horses to that breeding program, that would be nice. So we'll see what we get. But first, gotta do our speed training, the final training for this friend, and then she can go out into the pasture and be free, because she is a cream gene horse. So we will use her for future breeding programs. There's some, I think it's a smoky black coat color that I would really like to get at some point, and that needs a cream gene. So at some point, I think a smoky, what's it called? Silver smoky black would be a really cool combination. But we'll see. We'll see what we get. For now, she's just gonna vibe. As should we all, to be honest. We should all vibe. We should all strive to vibe. Okay. So she can't be trained any further. Okay, where are the horses now? Are they still over there? They are. Alright. We're gonna leave the speed training zone. Speed training arena. And then we're gonna go check out these horses and see if there's any that we like. And if there are any that we like, we have to herd them towards the wild horse pen, which is kind of on the opposite side, opposite corner from this almost, but alright. They should be, oh, they're over there. Any splash horses? No. Oh, but there are, I think these might be some liver chestnuts, though. And if there's any liver chestnut, I wonder. Let's see. I don't know if any of these are gonna work out for me, because none of them are flaxen, but let's see. Let's capture a few of them I also like the sheep in this map. Several maps have animals in them. This one has sheep. The forest has rabbits. Very cute. Okay, so that friend's good. Now I gotta go back because there were a couple more. There was also a chestnut, I think, that had a splash pattern. So we'll check on them too. I think I kind of split them though when I grabbed that one in the middle, so. Luckily, it's not. This map especially is pretty easy to herd the wild horses. The pine forest is actually a little bit difficult because the number of trees makes it easy to lose them, hard to spot them. Okay. But they made it so that you can't really herd two at once, or it's at least very difficult. So you're better off just herding one at a time. And then I usually start with the ones that I am most interested in to the ones I'm least interested in. And if I really don't want any, I just don't grab any of them. But it's worth taking a look, especially because I upgraded my wild horse pens. They're not all the way upgraded, but that means that the horses have a chance of having higher stats, which is nice. We love stats. So I still take a look because they're still worth money if you sell them. So you can make some meager amounts. I don't know if it's worth the time investment versus just doing some races, but it is there. All right. Are there any other Okay, those two I definitely don't want, so. Alright, let's do this friend, and then we can grab the last one. See if any of these have anything that we want. We don't really want any more stallions, though. We're good on. We already have too many, to be honest. So we only really want mares in our breeding programs. Don't really need stallions, and stats are fine. Most of our stallions have kind of weak stats, so it'd be nice if they had better stats, but if they have a pattern or a coat color combination that we really want, we'll probably grab them, but. Alright, where's my last friend? I think this last one, I think has a splash pattern, a very minimal splash pattern. So, this friend. There we go. This is definitely the easiest map to herd horses on, because as you can tell, it's mainly one big field. So it's easy to see stuff, there's not that many obstacles. There's some places the horsekins can be that's a little bit more challenging, but in general, easiest. And it's lucky that I also really like the splash patterns, so I do come here often to check, see what they've got. Alright, so now we leave our horse. And now we gotta go in and pet everybody. We gotta give everybody pets. Strong spirit. She's a mare. She has intermediate all stats, and she's a dark bay. Cute. Bold River is a stallion. Oof. Tragic. Intermediate everything except advanced endurance. Light bay splash. Okay, that's strong spirit. These two look very alike. Bright storm is a stallion. Okay, kind of a mix of a bunch of different stats. Also a dark bay. And then we've got quick bison. Also a stallion. Oof. Beginner everything except advanced endurance and a dark bay. 3 dark bays. Cute, but I don't think we're gonna grab anybody. So, that means we will leave. And this girl is all ready to go live out in the pasture with everybody. Eat the free grass. She has like middling stats. Her stats are like okay. They're decent. So she'll have a nice time chilling out in the grass with all the friends. Luckily it's summer, so it's like a nice season to be in the grass, though technically in the winter they still have grass. Don't ask me how that happens because there's snow everywhere, but I'm not gonna question it. If it doesn't cost me money in this game, that's fine. I have enough things to pay for. Alright. Off you go, girl. Enjoy the pasture life with all your new friends. I could also send her to the retirement pasture if we needed her stall space. We can always do that, and we can always grab her at a different time. Alright. Let's see. What do you need to train? You need to train... You also need to train speed. Oof. Okay. What about you, friend? What do you need to train? You need to train endurance. Okay, let's go do endurance. To the forest. It always is so slow to get out there though, because I trot to like save energy. So it takes time. But that's okay. It's like a nice little trail ride to get out there. I do love the covered bridges though. They are nice. A nice touch. It'd probably be really fun to ride a horse on a covered bridge, though the horse would probably be kind of freaked out. The horse would maybe not like it, and maybe that would make it less fun, but the ambiance would be there. I'm sure a horse would be like, I don't like this tunnel thing. I don't know about that. We don't really go into tunnels or caves. That's not where horses are usually found. Though maybe they would think it was like a big barn. They'd be like, okay, well, this kind of looks like a barn. But we don't normally get ridden into a barn because you don't want to break your neck. You don't want to break your neck if your ceiling is normal height and your horse rears up, so you don't normally mount up while you're in the barn. That would be no good. I do like this girl's pattern though. She's very pretty. I don't know what we're gonna breed with this pattern. I haven't decided what like color combination would look best with it, but I mean she's looking cute as she is. I do like the roan with it, because it's like roan is kind of a dappley color anyway. It's like not a solid color really. People have been putting in all sorts of coat requests on the Discord for Rivershine. There's so many cool ones that I'm like, yeah, that'd be cool to have. Full knowing that it would take me so long. I don't even think my current breeding programs will be successful, let alone any of the things that people are suggesting, but still cool though. The community around this game is like very dedicated. They just really love horses. And they really love horse games, and they're just very excited to have another horse game out there. To be fair, there's not too many of them. And Star Stable makes you I don't know if you can pay. I don't know if you can play Star Stable for free, or if you have to pay a subscription to play it. I will say subscription service games are kind of not the norm anymore. Not the usual, which is a good thing, I think, in general, but y'all pointing at each other. I do love the pointing emotes, they're so funny. Yeah, I love that Sari made one, it cracked me up. I was like, this is perfect. This is perfect. Alright, let's grab this girl. Let's go do the remaining speed training. And then we'll run around in Lupine Meadow, because I think if you canter in Lupine Meadow, you gain speed faster anyway, so. When are we getting resolved you? I don't know. I was just thinking of new emotes to get. I have some good emote ideas. And I found a animated, we have so many animated emote slots now. I did not expect to have as many as we have. And there is an animated emote artist that I really like. Their animations are just really clean, so I have some other things cooking in the background though, so I don't know if we're gonna get them next month or if it'll be the month after. Scuff Raz emote. We need like just an emote of her face. That'd be pretty good. I might make that. That I could probably make myself. Just her head, really. It could be like a stare. An intimidating emote to use. But yeah, so I guess it depends. I'm waiting for someone to come back to me on a quote for something, so though if they're in here, I'm not rushing you. Please take all the time that you need. I always hate making artists feel rushed. I'm like, no, it's fine. Unless I told you that there was a date attached to it, it's all good. So I'm just waiting for a quote to come back, and then I'll see if maybe we can do emotes next month when that is going on at the same time, or whether I'll have to space them out a bit. If we have to space them out, that's fine too. I was also thinking about getting some new, or some more, I guess, alerts as well. So it'd be fun to have some additional alerts. So we'll see. We'll see how everything shakes out. Nothing is a rush around here though, you know. Nothing is on a particular timeline. Other than my timeline, just whenever I want things and want to pay for things, I guess. All of these things require money, so eventually. One day I'll have a professional looking stream, but not this day. Not today. I'm always in awe. I mean, part of it is probably just like the vigor of youth, but the pre-debut VTubers that invest like so much, they have like their model with multiple outfits and all these toggles, and they invest in all these overlays, and they have custom schedule templates, and they have like all of their emote slots are ready, and they do so much stuff, and I just can't do that. I just don't. One, I don't have the money for that. I don't live that life anymore. I don't live that rich person life anymore. And two, I just don't even if I did have the money, I just don't have the energy to coordinate all that stuff. That's so much. That's so much. And then they get bored in a month. I know, or they don't like it. Because what happens a lot, right, is like people have high hopes. And like, to be fair, I do think a lot of people get into content creation, even if they don't say that that's the reason that they get into content creation, but I do think there is a not insignificant portion of people who get into it because they do see it as like an easier job or like a more fun job. So when they inevitably don't see results and like a return on their investment in like a short period of time, they'll cut and run. I have so many toggles and stuff, but I did it all myself. I know, it's so impressive. You do have so many toggles. I have a bunch of toggles, but I just don't use them. I've just learned that, like, I'm just bad about remembering to do toggles, so, like, I don't need them. You have to get blessed by algorithm Kami-sama. Yeah, it's like, it's a combination. Because I feel like what gets kind of, like, I don't want to say disingenuous, but, like, disingenuous feels strong, but I do feel like you get a lot of really high level content creators, the successful ones. And they are really adamant about all the hard work that they put in, which is true. But ultimately, in the entertainment industry, it is always a combination of a lot of hard work coinciding with a little bit of luck, right? You need your sense of humor or your voice or the type of content or the game that you're playing to like line up with things that enough people like for you to get big, right? Because if I made let's say I made content that was extremely niche and it was really good, like it was really dialed in, like it was like my editing was beautiful and everything was really professional and like I had a lot of skills. But if I was making content about just watermelons, right? Maybe I just love watermelons and all I want to do is talk about all the different species of watermelons in the world and growing watermelons and eating watermelons. Like that's my whole thing. There is a finite number of people in the world who would be interested in watermelons enough to invest in that. Like some people hate watermelons. And there's, there might not be millions of people that want to watch content about watermelons. Maybe they do. Maybe there's something else about me, my voice or something, or if I'm a face cam streamer or something, like my looks or whatever. Maybe there's something else drawing people in, but ultimately, you need to have like that crossroads if you really want to be like big, big, big. But you can always be good. You can always be skilled at something. It just you might not achieve like the fame and the monetary success that you expect. You can still be amazingly skilled and just not have the thing that you do coincide with enough people for you to get famous and rich or whatever. Doug is a great example of explaining all the hard work he's done, but still making it hell apparent he got lucky. It's a difficult balance because I understand from those creators' perspective that they probably hear a lot from like doubters, or people who are really pessimistic that are like, "Oh, well, you just got lucky. Oh, well, you just ended up being pretty. You just ended up having a nice voice." And those are true. Like your voice, you are just born with a particular timbre of your voice. Can you train your voice? Absolutely. You are just born with certain looks. Can you change that? Yes, with things like plastic surgery, but that's expensive. You know. So, there is a luck element to it, and I'm sure they hear the luck disproportionately, which is why they're so adamant that it's like, no, just work hard. And they're not wrong. They would not be famous if they weren't working hard, if they didn't have skills, if they didn't have talents. There's a billion pretty people. There's a billion people with beautiful voices. But they're not, it's the combo. I've always streamed just for fun because I wanted to. So now that I have a job, I only have 4 hours on weekdays to myself. Streaming any amount dips quite a lot into it, so I can barely stream anymore. That's okay, though. That's okay. I think if you really like streaming and it's like a fun hobby for you, then it's worth investing some time into it. Like you said, if you have really limited amounts of time during the weekday, which is very normal, then you have to kind of balance, maybe you need to take care of your Maslow's hierarchy of needs more, but it's still, if you like doing something, if something is your hobby and you enjoy it, you should never feel guilty about putting time into it, as long as your other like immediate bodily needs are being met. Are you being fed? Are you being housed? Are you safe? As long as all those things are yes, then hobby away. Have a wonderful time. What's really funny about that is you sometimes have to get those hyper niche streamers that the algorithm randomly decides to bless, and you just have a person with a weird niche. It's true, it's true. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes, and I think a lot of times too, there's a lot of invisible work that goes into like content creation and success, right? So I feel like VTubing is a great example of this. There's a lot of people who get really jealous because they'll have been VTubing. Maybe they're like me, right? They've been VTubing for 2 years. They're going into their 3rd year. They feel like they've been grinding. But they started at 0. They started with no skill. They're not like a comedian. They aren't a voice actor. They're not a singer. They just like to play games, and they are not particularly skilled in any one game. Like, they're not so skilled that they're like, oh my god, this person's like the best in the world at this thing. So they're just chilling. They're just vibing. And throughout their like 3 years, 2 years, whatever it is, they've been learning skills, and they've been acquiring, like, they become a better streamer. They talk to chat more consistently. They like have learned to navigate and make their content like more pleasing to other people, whatever that is. Maybe they got better at their games that they like to play, whatever. But they'll look at a new VTuber, they'll see a new VTuber, and they go, oh my god, that person just debuted, and they're popping off, and they've got thousands of followers on Twitter, which, let's be real, Twitter is not real. It's not real life, it doesn't matter. It's okay. Maybe you're just not funny in like the 180 characters that you need, or what. I don't know what the Twitter maximum is these days, but it's fine. It's fine. Maybe you just are not good at making memes. It's not a big deal. But they're like, oh, this person has all of these followers, and they've just debuted. Their debut was a hit. There was like an average of 80 people at their debut, and I had like 3 people at my debut, and I don't even have 80 people at my birthday streams every year. And they get really like down about it. They feel really sad because in their mind they're like, well, I've been doing this for 2 or 3 years, and I feel like I know what I'm doing now, and this person is brand new. They're a new person. They're a baby. And look at them. Look at how far they're going. But one, that doesn't take into account maybe that person has been playing the piano for 25 years. And they're a brilliant concert pianist. And their whole thing is that on Tuesdays they come and they play amazing sonatas for people, and people love it. That's like their favorite time of the week. Or maybe they're an incredible artist. Maybe they have been working freelance as an artist for actual companies. This is their paid gig. This is how they make all their money, and they live, and they have a very comfortable life because they're so amazing at art. Or maybe they're a literal comedian. Maybe they are actually funny. Like, they go up on stage in front of people and tell jokes, and they get paid to do that. So you never know like what someone's skills before this point are. So you never really, like, there's no good way to compare yourself because you have no idea. I mean, unless you sit down and talk to them, and then you'll maybe find out, oh, they've been doing this for like literally 30 years. And you've been doing it for 3, and you don't have 30 years experience in something, you know? So I feel like people, they get really like, they just see like the time relative to each other, or like number growth relative to each other, and it's like you're comparing apples to oranges. Like, you are not the same. You are not the same. Not to be mean, but like your skills levels, they came in at a 1,000 and you started at a 3. Like, of course, and maybe you've made it to a 250, but you're still not at 1,000, and you started way lower than them. I think people misunderstand the purpose of debut streams. they're mainly for corpo-tuber purposes and they don't translate well into indies. 100% Ness. I 100% agree. Personally hate debut streams. Just start streaming. Listen, I'm with you. I started without a debut. Debut streams are great for corpo because it's launching a new idol. Indie VTubers, it's kind of like, who is this? No, it's so true. Like, the purpose of a debut stream is a VTuber, a company with all of a company's marketing behind them, running a huge successful marketing campaign at which the debut is the conclusion of that. That's the event. They've been running ads. They've been like HoloLive. Think of all the people. If you collate them, if you combine every person's sub count in HoloLive together across all platforms. And of course there's duplicates, but let's say we remove the duplicates. That's how many people are interested in HoloLive. So, like, imagine HoloLive and all the eyes that they already have on them, and how easy it is for them to just say, hey fam, you like this one? We've got another. Have we got a deal for you. For the low, low price of free. You can watch this one over here. Witness. So, like, yeah, the debut is a, hey, all these people who are already watching these corporate VTubers and they already love, you know, who Cover has chosen to hire. Hey, do you want to meet this new person? Which is why they have debut streams are always kind of dry, right? It's like someone doing the slideshow, maybe giving a little bit of their shtick. But even then, the debut streams of corpos are like, what, like 30 minutes? A lot of indies debut, and we have like 2-hour-long streams, and it's like, fam, we didn't need the 2 hours of PowerPoints. We're not that interesting. I'm already watching one. I'm gonna be real, I don't understand the point of re-debuting. You mean like the same, like if it's like the same... You mean like re-debuting like an outfit or something? Versus like, I can understand well, do I understand? I mean, people just use debut to be like, hey, here's a new thing that I have that I'm showing off. And they're like, look, a new outfit that I paid thousands of dollars for. Look at this fancy new outfit that I paid lots of money for. It's very shiny, it's very fancy, it's very beautiful. I think that's part of why people make a big deal out of like outfits and events. It's because they've made a large investment. It's also copying corporate VTubers because that's what they do, right? Corporate VTubers say, "Oh my god, I have a new outfit. Please come to this very special stream where we have fan interaction so we can talk about this new outfit," and it's a thing, and they make a lot of money off of it. But does an indie make money off of it? Some of them. Depends on the size, I guess, but I don't know that most of them make enough money on that stream to cover the cost of the outfit. Or to cover the amount of time and additional investment art assets that they put into it. Out reveal is kind of fine, but sometimes they're like, I'm gonna re-debut, and I think it's them reintroducing themselves. Oh, yeah, that is also a little confusing to me, but to be fair, I haven't seen that very often. I've sometimes seen it if someone completely rebrands, so they like totally change their model or something. But that to me is just kind of close to an outfit reveal, I guess. But I don't know that I've seen anyone re-debut. Oh my god. I teleport. Oh, is it 2 a.m.? Oh god, it's teleporting me. My fear is coming to life. I, for one, support the VTubing notion for artists who now have another avenue of pursuit. True, VTubing has been great for artists. There's a lot of opportunities. Like, VTubers need a lot of art, right? We are always in need of art. So, that is a good opportunity. It did open up an avenue for people who made anime style art or comic style art to branch out and get new clients. Just open MS Paint, draw yourself. There you go. If I come across a small fortune, VTubing might be fun. I think it's fun anyway, but it is just like streaming. Both of those are a luxury hobby for sure. There are much cheaper ways to VTube. In general. Like for instance, if someone came to me in the year 2024 and was like, Raz, how do I start VTubing? I would be like, step 1, don't buy a custom model. Step 1, do you even like streaming? Do you even like making content? Maybe you hate it, maybe you don't know. And there's no sense paying like $3,000 to find out that you do hate it, because that's a lot of money to let down the drain in one fell swoop. So I would probably suggest that there's a bunch of free like VTuber model platforms and stuff where you can do some like color changing and stuff on it, or like add or subtract accessories or like hairstyles. But there's also a bunch of really nicely made models on Booth that are like $20. And yeah, are there other people that look like you? Sure, but like, to be honest, look at me. I'm a blonde anime girl. How many other blonde anime girls are on the internet? Literally an unreal number. So I look like other people anyway. You know, like, we don't look identical, but like, I don't know. I feel like getting a $20 booth model, to at least to start, it's fun to have your custom model. Of course, I love that. It's my fave. But like, I had so much joy in getting this model and like working with Cinna to design it and like all the process, but it was a lot of time. It was a lot of my time, and it was a lot of her time, and it was a lot of money. And if you don't know that you like something, it's so much easier to buy a $20 booth model and then like have fun. And then you have a model that's like expressive and fun, and you can like get a, you know, a feel for if you even like it. I have a friend that spent copious money on a VTuber model, but then proceeded to just use one she drew herself and almost never streams. Oh no. I mean, hopefully that model brought her joy, maybe. Hopefully it wasn't like a disappointing purchase situation. But that is a shame. It's a shame to just have, you know, have that money. If she feels that it's wasted, I guess that would be the real sad bit. If she doesn't feel it's wasted though, then live her best life. Yours is special kind of blonde. It's got that unsaturated maple hue. I know. I love the color of blonde that we picked. To be honest, I love everything about my model. She's so cute, but like, oof, oof. Are you okay? Oof. You okay? We having a sneezing attack? Oh my goodness, you got woken up? Is this because you went in the cobwebs? Yeah. You okay? Yeah. Sorry, Pickles just had a little sneezy fit. You okay? That was a lot. That was a lot of sneezes all at once. How you doing? You're good? Yeah. Okay. Good bean. Yeah, there we go. You feel better? Okay. I'm glad you're okay. You scared me. I was like, oh my god, that's a lot of sneezes. That is going places. But yeah, I love my model. But I think I I was an adult, so that helped a lot. I think because I was older, I was willing to like spend the money and then force myself to stream even if I didn't like it for at least a minimum amount of time to ensure that I really hated it before I gave it up, because I had at least that level of discipline. But if I was young, and also at the time that I got my model, I was making significantly more money than I'm making now. I also like had paid for many of the big expenses that I had to pay for in my life. I had bought my house. My wedding was done. I was in a good spot in my career situation, so like it was a lot of money, but it was not like I was actually taking a big risk. Let's put it that way. That if it really didn't pan out, it would be like, oh, that's really unfortunate that I spent a lot of money on it, but it was not like, wow, I need this to be made back. This was, hey, this is money I'm willing to burn on a hobby. Honestly, ideal circumstances for streaming, yes. I think the best circumstances for streaming are being more stable, because obviously consistency is pretty key to streaming. If you really want to go for it, long hours also help, but like being consistent in that time does a lot for you. So if you're in a stable home life situation, you know, you're not having to move all the time, you're not like, yeah, you're not like losing out or at risk of things happening all the time. I mean, you know, life is life, anything can happen, but not needing to, I don't know, when you're young, like you graduate from college and suddenly you might be moving halfway across the country or across the world, and you might be starting a brand new job, and it turns out that that job has like insane hours and you didn't know that, and like you also probably need to make friends. You should probably be social. You know, I was an older lady that already had friends and knew where I was gonna be forever after, you know, I don't plan to move ever again. This is where I plan to die. So like I plan to be here for like, I don't know, 70 years. So that helps. And then, you know, there was no pressure for this money that I had spent on VTubing to be an investment that had to have a return on it. It was, hey, this is money that if it poofs, if I lit it on fire, it would be like, ah, that's a shame, but it's not the end of the world. So I don't think anyone should invest in VTubing or streaming or making a YouTube channel and expect that you get paid back for that. It should be, hey, I like to do this thing for fun. Because there's no guarantee that you ever get paid back. I've put way more into VTubing than I have ever received. I'm like deep in the negative. Deep. I make negative money every year. Consistently. I put way more into it than I ever receive. So if I put pressure on myself that it had to be in the green, if I had to be like making money, that would be awful. That would be very stressful. I exclusively put any money made from streaming into streaming. Yeah, that's a great way to do it, because then you're not pulling from additional funds. That's the ideal way to do it. And then it's like kind of self-sustaining in that way. But yeah, like all the money that I've spent on, you know, my first model, this model, all the art that I've paid for, background music, alerts, emotes, like all those things cost money. And I paid for all of them because I have no artistic ability. And I like artists, honestly. I like other people's art, so I like to just pay for other people's art because they're really good at that and they've put a lot of time into making nice things. And I like enjoying nice things. I make so much nothing from streaming that I don't put stuff back. I just like gaming on the interwebs, and that's perfect. That's ideal. There's something to be said for you don't have to monetize every hobby that you have. In fact, monetizing your hobbies generally makes them less fun. So I think not monetizing your hobby and or not expecting it to make you any money makes it a lot more of an enjoyable experience. So personally, I think that's probably the way to go. That's probably the better route to take. And then who knows, maybe if the algorithm, maybe if you one day you get your skills up, your skills and talents align with, the algorithm and the wider populace, and you one day become known, then you can decide if you want to make something of it for that time, or you could always just keep doing whatever you're doing. No one says you have to become big and then actually go full time. You could be on YouTube and have millions of subscribers and then still just be like, no, I post once a week, whatever I feel like posting. And it's the same quality as before. No one says you have to quit your job and hire an editor and stream 10 hours a day. You don't have to do that. You could still just stream 2 times a week. You might have more people showing up, but whatever. That sounds fun. That sounds way more enjoyable. Keep your day job, get your steady paycheck, hop on the interwebs, play some games, people get excited about it, you have a nice time, you get some extra money, maybe you use that money to go out to eat more, go visit your friends, go on a cool vacation. That sounds more fun than being like, oh god, I need 50 more people to subscribe today or I'm in the red. That sounds like too much. That's a lot of energy. That would stress me out. Then I would feel like I was virtually panhandling in a way that I don't really want to think about. Then I would really feel like I was out doing a jig on the corner, hoping for someone to toss me a few coins. And that would make me feel weird. I justify buying games for streaming by saying I'd buy it anyways. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, if you'd buy it anyway, if you want to play it and it would be fun and it's your hobby, yeah. Then justify away. It's your hobby. If streaming's your hobby, you're just investing in your hobby. That's normal. Some people buy yarn. Some people go take yoga classes. Some people buy games that they know that they would hate because they want to play with a friend and have some laughs. Stream yourself doing a little Irish jig. Maybe if I get a 3D model, we'll have a little jig time. I'll even maybe I'll make a little hat and I'll build a little street corner. And I'll be like a little performer out under a street lamp doing jigs, asking for coins. But yeah, you don't have to justify wanting to invest in your hobby. If you have fun, then it's worth it. As long as your other needs are being met and you're being fed and housed and clothed and clean. And if you have dependents, if you have pets, they're being well taken care of, that's fine. No big deal. You're allowed to be happy in this life. In fact, you should try to be happy. As much as the capitalist machine hopes that you are miserable, you should be happy. You should eat tasty food. You should laugh. You should hang out with your friends. You should give people good hugs. You should go see movies that you like and movies that you hate. And you should read good books. And go to museums and, I don't know, have the donuts, Eat the donuts. Enjoy the donuts. We're not here for a long time, so might as well have a good time. No happiness allowed. Untrue. Happiness be the goal. Happiness is the whole point. And if games make you happy, if you're like me, and riding virtual horses makes you happy, then do that. Speaking of books, I bought a book for 300 yen yesterday. It's written in classical Japanese and it hurts my brain. Well, that'll do it. I think classical Japanese would hurt even a native speaker's brain. So I think that makes sense. I was about to be like, what book did you get for 300 yen? But that would, maybe it's not in high demand. Maybe it's not in high demand. That's cool though. I mean, it'd be a good goal that you can one day read it. That'd be exciting. Oh my god, my horse is running away. Excuse me, child. Actually, you know what? Let me go to the carpenter. Can I jump down this thing? Oh, I don't need to. Thought there was an embankment there, but there's not. See, the bunnies are riding past. There's bunnies in the forest. I brought it out in an izakaya last night and the natives looked at it like, what witchcraft is this? They were probably like, bro, what are you doing? We're at an izakaya. Why? What are you up to? Hello, carpenter man. What is your name again? Liam. Liam. Third farm field or second orchard? Probably second orchard. Probably second orchard. We should go get some trees. I don't remember if the farmer's in town today, but I guess... I don't think she is, actually. I don't think I remember seeing the notification for today. But I guess I have to go through the main zone anyway, so I could just check the map. I can just look. You being a long bean, Miss Pickles? You are. Yeah, you're laying all stretched out after your sneezy fit. I also want to lay down and be all stretched out after a sneezy fit. They are not very comfortable. Not the most comfortable things in the whole wide world. Let's see if we can get some more trees to plant. I don't know if there's other trees or if it's just pears and apples for right now. It might be just pears and apples, so maybe I'll get one of each. I don't know which season is which, because normally pears are normally later in the fall and like early, almost early wintry, and apples are usually like late summer to mid-autumn, I guess, for ripeness generally. Most varieties, around me at least. Okay, Jai and River. Okay. Nope. Our farmer friend is not there. We will find her in the meadow. I feel like trees are expensive. I don't know how expensive they are though. Trees in real life are expensive though, so I don't think I should really be surprised. Don't think I should be surprised. Alright, let's go. Where is she? She is in her fields. As a good farmer should be. Always out tending the crops. Alright, where is she though? Oh, there she is. There you are, ma'am. Hello. I've come to buy apples. Apple tree. Oh yeah, spring and summer. Pear must be, oh, summer and fall. Interesting. Okay. purchase that. Okay. We got one of each, because I think, assume it's 2 more spots for my orchard. Let's go plant those. I was trying to raise money today and then I just spent no time making money. I was like, oh yeah, I should try and upgrade some things. I should not spend money on tack. And instead I just spent money on plants. Instead of like horse clothing and equipment, I spent it on plants instead. Which kind of eerily close to real life. Not spending much money on clothing, spending money on plants. The huge. Though I'm not much of a houseplant person, I do feel lucky in that way. I feel like there's a lot of weird houseplants that got weirdly inflated prices and are maybe not worth as much as they are made out to be, let's put it that way. And they're like very expensive now. All sorts of fancy monsteras and other houseplants. A lot of those plants are actually toxic to cats, so that's part of why I don't have a lot of... I'm not a big fan of houseplants. A lot of houseplants are toxic to animals. So I'm good without needing to put time in for that. And I always preferred carnivorous plants anyway, so I would always just prefer to grow those. If I'm gonna have an indoor growing space, I'm just gonna have like a nice setup and just get my carnivorous plants going again. I probably will. I mean, maybe this year we'll get our indoor grow setup going and bring back like Sarracenias and Nepenthes and Drosera. All my pinguiculas. I love pinguiculas. They're one of my favorites, but they're very hard to keep alive indoors because they want like, I don't know, they want more, they want better airflow for one. The ones that I was growing at least. They didn't love my stagnant air situation. Alright. The trees are planted. Grow well, friends. Grow well, thrive. Alright, watermelons still have 4 days. Our horses are all tended to. Let's see, what else needs doing around here? Not much, I guess. Foraging, if anything. But maybe instead we just go to bed at 4 p.m. Maybe we had a long... I mean, we did stay up till like 2 a.m. the other day. Maybe we were just crashing. Alright. Farmers in town today. Alright, it's a little past 9. So let's go ahead and quit. And then let me do some screen swapping. But thank you guys for joining me today. Thanks for hanging out. Here is our schedule for the rest of the week. Where are you, schedule? Here you are. So today was cozy horse game stream. So we're going to be back on Thursday and Friday for our lunch streams. We're going to be playing Doraemon's Brave Seasons Friends of the Great Kingdom. So we're going to be doing some farming in there. And then on Saturday, we're doing our take 2 of the ladies' night in Lethal Company. So myself and Z and Remy are to be playing Lethal Company. We were supposed to play this on Lunar New Year, but Z hurt her back really bad and needed to take time and heal, so she's feeling better. So long as she is still feeling good by the time we get to Saturday, we'll be playing some fun Lethal Company. So that's going to be a little later. That's going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern time, so a little later time slot that we normally have. And then on Sunday we'll be back playing Eastward Octopia, maybe finishing it, which would be nice. I would like that. Oh my god, there's so many people online. Let me see. Who should we go say hello to? Who should we go say hi to? You you know, wait, let me check if... Do I think Shivank is sticking around? I feel like we should go say hello to Shivank because he plays mahjong. It's super cozy, and his cat is often on video, and Ruby is there right now. So let's go say hi. Here is our raid messages. First raid message is for subscribers. Second one is for everybody else. We're gonna go say hello to Chev and his super cute cat Ruby. He is playing in Gold Room, doing a 4-player South game. He just started, so that's very exciting. So let me get this raid started. But thank you guys so much for joining me today. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being cozy. Thanks for making my Tuesday much better, even though it was kind of rough earlier. I had a rough day, but you guys made it a lot more fun. But I hope you guys have an excellent rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, and hopefully I get to see you guys again very, very soon.